Didn't think I'd forget about Gin's story, did you, Shovel 8 fans? Yeah, I know. I've mentioned before that I couldn't record Gin's story due to the fact that 2 weeks ago I tried to upload the video and it came out as 1 second, and I didn't check the recorded footage about how long it is, so I gave up on it and decided to continue his story off screen. So I'll be doing like 2 or 3 story tickets, depending on how fast I can read. This one's on me. In appreciation of your loyal patronage, have a read. Are you sure? Thanks. I gratefully accepted it. A quick glance revealed Shinanome's name in the headlines. A group of rebels angry at Shinonome surrounded the magistrate's office, but Shinonome cleared them off. Lately, incidents like that seem to be happening a lot. Those rebels are pretty radical. It seems they were originally preparing to interrupt Nagasaki's trade. A huge pile of gunpowder was seized near the harbor that was apparently part of their plans. Haru had served Ritsu soba, and he was eating while commenting on the article. Just then, some of the diners nearby us interrupted him. That could have become a huge fire in no time. I'm sure grateful to Shinonome. He's got amazing foresight. It's hard to argue with his popularity. I agree. Anytime an incident occurs, someone from the magistrate's office comes running and solves it, no matter what it is. Shinonome even showed up recently to clear up an incident on his own. He doesn't sit around his backside all day, or like our previous magistrate. Ouch. Ritsu and I glanced at one another, while the people at the nearby table all laughed. At first I thought that proclamation of his was just strange, but after watching Shinonome, I can see where strength might be a good quality. I should consider paying them a visit. It might give me a leg up. Ritsu thoughtfully slurped up a few noodles, then quietly asked me a question. Hikari, what do you think of Shinonome? Answer him. To Shinonome, strength is absolute, and the devotion he shows for that ideal is admirable. However, I don't accept his ideals. I don't accept that view of strength and his sense of what's right and wrong. It essentially discards the weak, if you ask me, and it gives us city streets with people in a constant savage struggle. That's my biggest concern. You've really been watching the situation, haven't you? I have similar concerns. Ritsu held up his chopsticks with a flourish. I haven't mentioned it in my articles, but obviously, a lot of people don't like Shinonome, particularly among the townspeople. It seems there have been a few killings where weakness was used as an excuse too. Whether you like it or not, Shinonome's a tyrant. Positive and negative opinions of him are going to split Nagasaki in two. I like to see him stopped before that happens. Ritsu definitely has a sharp eye on Shinonome. And a firm understanding of him. However, then there were people like our fellow diners who had nothing but praise for Shinonome. You worry too much. With Shinonome in charge, everything will work out. Zane's strength, all that matters, makes it easier to understand him. It's better not to complicate things. Are you joking? Shinonomi's a jerk. He sucks. One more store ticket. Ooh, I got a wonderful sweetness. Oh, you know what? I'll finish the 2 store tickets. There are a lot of people who approve of Shinonome still. I glanced at the tabloid article and bit my lip at the typical fashion with which he was eliminating his enemies. Later that evening... Uh-oh. The Nagasaki and Kyoto Vigilance, the Shinigami, the Shogun, and Toya and Shinosuke all gathered in Makoto's room. We have received another batch of petitions for Shinonomi's punishment. The sheer number of petitions Makoto spread on the table was eye-opening. These are just the people who dislike him. There are quite a few more in this town who think fondly of him. If we don't act soon, this problem will spread beyond Nagasaki. Neighboring regions are already watching closely, and tensions are high. Even worse, false rumors are spreading around the country that the Shogun has been assassinated. If he were to die, the only Damn, I screw up on my words. The only concentration of military might capable of seizing power is now located here in Nagasaki. Because of that, the rebels all have their eyes on this town. The Shogun sadly let his shoulder slump. Toshi, who had good grasp of the rebels' movements, spoke up. The rumors are likely coming from conspirators in the Shogunate and are gaining ground because the Shogun isn't in Edo. Shinonome has nothing to do with them. There are still some rebels cooperating with Shinonome who would use foreign influence if necessary, just to overthrow the Shogunate, whatever. The rebel ranks showed a lot of confusion. Some were still using Shinonome, who was using them in return, while others had already turned on him. We must act carefully. Japan is dangerously close to breaking out in a civil war. I imagine that is exactly what Shinonome wants. We could try to assassinate him, but with everyone gathered here, we would be woefully outnumbered by his followers. That's why, despite grave reservations, we've chosen to ally yet with another outside group. Yahiro's expression looked bitter. It must have been a painful decision for him. That's your cue. You can enter now. In response to Yahiro's gruff invitation, Tsubaki the obstetrician stepped into the room. I can't pronounce that word. Tsubaki's willingness to treat patients, whether they had money or not, made him quite popular around town. The appearance of the samurai wearing a fox mask who entered behind him came as an even greater surprise. That's the samurai who was following Shinonome. Tsubaki took a step back, and the samurai paused to remove his mask. My name is Toru Nagagawa. I believe many of you know my partner, Tsubaki Kusunonoke. Noki, whatever. Okay, one more story to get, and then that's it. I gotta speed this up. It's too long of a video. Nagagawa? That was Makoto's last name. The two men even looked vaguely similar. Sir Toru, you're alive? Oh shoot, that was Shintaro's line. Sir Toru, you're alive? Shinonome's voice was filled with emotion. Asake gave the man a troubled look. What a surprise! Makoto, why is your brother suddenly turning up here alive and well? My dear brother was the one who contacted me. Makoto stared at his brother while formally addressing him. Apparently they had a complicated relationship. After talking with him, Hiro and I decided to temporarily cooperate with his group of rebels in order to punish Shinonome. You wanted to cooperate with the rebels? The uproar that followed was led by Ukyo. Even the Kyoto Vigilant seemed surprised. It's startling enough to learn that Tsubaki's a rebel, but now we're cooperating with them, and their leader is the fox-masked samurai and Makoto's brother? If there is one thing our vigilant groups lack most, it's numbers. Cooperating with the rebels will compensate for that. Makoto spoke up loudly and firmly in an effort to quiet everyone's concerns. Let me make one thing clear. We have no intention of acting friendly with vigilance. The gravity with which Toru addressed us reminded me a lot of his brother. We view you as a means to accomplishing our goal, and you should all do the same. Excuse me, if you don't mind my asking, that goal. I feel like this one's good. Is that goal to kill Shinonome? When Toru heard my question, he apparently remembered who I was. You were that guy following me the other night, right? No wonder. Your actions make sense now that I know that you are vigilant. He stared at me. He stared at me a moment, then thoughtfully continued talking. Shinonomi's vision for Nagasaki is entirely different from mine. If he gets his way, we won't have a future. However, once the shogunate has fallen and Nagasaki has been laid bare, my vision will give it a clean start. Toru's decision was rather confusing. It honestly didn't make much sense. Tsubaki saw my reaction to it and smiled. Suffice it to say, there are a variety of ideas among the rebels. Toru's is both brief and revolutionary and full of compassion. If you'd like to help change things for the better, I'm happy to explain further. What do you say? No. Not if people will be hurt in the process. I'd rather Nagasaki be a peaceful place. My firm response drew a sigh from Tsubaki. Sorry, Toru. For a moment there, I thought we might have ourselves a good ally. Regardless, our groups can work together and benefit from one another until Shinonomi is out of the way. I quietly nodded while recalling what an incredibly strong sword fighter Toru was. Ooh, got another wonderful. And that's it. Almost 20 minutes. Are you kidding me? Well, excuse the background noise. During my recording, Kitten's mom was zooming through her office. So, unfortunately, her background noise is recorded. Sorry, Shall We Date fans, but see you in the next Shall We Date video. Bye-bye. And good night on All Hallows Eve. Happy Halloween for tomorrow. Woo!